The RLCS is back, and it's time for predictions. This is the bracket. So this is a Swiss bracket. So the winners go up here, and the winners go up, and they qualify. And these guys qualify, and then the winners of these qualify, and the bottom ones get eliminated, basically. So let's begin. Genji versus OG. I don't think this is gonna be close. I'll say I don't think it's gonna be close. I think it's going to be a clean 3-0, to be honest, because Genji is just that much of a powerhouse, and I don't see OG putting up that much of a fight. I'll give them one. TSM versus XD, deleted XD. Okay, I thought, OG got deleted, but yeah. TSM, I think, will win this. TSM is the one with the big org, but XD is also a pretty good team, so I'm going to put it close. Space Station versus Pirates. I'm putting Pirates a pretty good team, but 3-1. Space Station's quite good as well. G2 versus Snowman. I think it's going to be a 3-0. If G2 don't choke or not perform their best, even just an average performance from each, I think it's going to be a 3-0. G2 is just insane. NRG versus Young Whippersnappers. I see this being a 3-1 Young Whippersnappers. They're probably going to take the first or second game, but then NRG, close it out. And Luminosity versus Plot Twist. I do think Luminosity will take this. Plot Twist isn't too strong. I'll give it 3-1 again. Dignitas versus Rebellion. This is actually quite interesting. There could be an upset here with Rebellion winning. And I think I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to say it's going to happen here. So that's our first upset. And M80 versus Muffin Men. Again, some upset potential, but I do think M80 is definitely the top seed there. First round finished, and we can go on to the upper bracket. G2 versus Rebellion. So Rebellion. I do think G2 is just better. I think they are literally just a better team. 3-1, I'll give it. Genji versus TSM. TSM, it's interesting. It's an interesting roster, but it's not bad by any means. But if we look again at the roster of TSM, it's not super strong. Cream's Hockey Wavy versus Genji. I'm gonna give it a 3-1, like that. Okay, Space Station versus M80. Space Station versus M80. This is super interesting. This could go either way, in my opinion. I have faith in M80. I think M80 is gonna do well. I like AJ as the mechanical guy, and Nas and Joris are just really, really good players. And from EU, this would be really cool to happen. Maybe encourage some more imports, because NA is sort of struggling, especially with actual NA players, which this doesn't help with, but whatever. NRG versus Luminosity. I would like to think that Luminosity could take NRG. NRG, not a bad roster at all, but although there is upset potential in them, I do think Luminosity has just shown that they are quite a good team. I'll put it close though. Okay, Dignitas versus Snowman. Dignitas is taking this. I think it's a 3-0. Dignitas is a great team, and Snowman isn't the strongest. No offense to Snowman, obviously. They still are really good. Deleted XD versus OG. This is sort of difficult. One has the big org, but this is a difficult matchup. I think OG is not super strong unless they get their act together, and I believe that they will. Deleted is still a great roster, but still not super strong. This may be a slight upset even if OG wins this. It shouldn't be, but seeing how they performed in the qualifiers, I won't be too surprised. Okay, Muffin Men versus Pirates. This is a difficult one because it's Squishy's team versus Pirates, and Pirates, I think, is better. I think Pirates is the better team here because let's look at the rosters again. Pirates is consisted of 5-Up, Andy, and Aris, and although they weren't they're not the flashiest team, on the off seasons you could see them sort of upsetting better teams and sort of holding their own very well. And Muffin Man, I don't think is super strong either. Plot Twist versus Young Whippersnappers. Now these are Kofia, Expert, and Sosa versus the little PNDH Realized Skippy. Young Whippersnappers has to prove themselves in this regional, and they did in that lower bracket run, but it's still not like sure if they're better than Plot Twist. Plot Twist still, has the bigger name players in my opinion. I would like to see an upset, but realistically I think it's going to go 3-2. It could go either way, but I would like to think that Plot Twist has this. G2 versus M80. This is an insane game. This is one. If this happens, this is great, because G2, I think top seed competing with Genji, second or first seed, versus M80. G2 versus M80. This is one really good game. I feel. No matter who wins, it's gonna be a really, really fun series to watch. G2, the grounded one, Dan mode plus Atomic, really shown themselves. But Jorius and Nas, less shown, and AJ as well. But I do think there's upset potential, and I want it to happen, so I'm putting it 3-2 for M80. This might be crazy. Genji versus Luminosity. Luminosity, again, it's who I'm going for, so obviously I want them to win. But Genji, it feels like just too strong. It feels too strong. Honestly, it feels like top seed, in my opinion. I'm gonna give it 3-1. Nah, make it exciting, 3-2. Okay, Space Station versus OG. Now, this, in theory, should be a closer game, but through the evidence, I feel like it'll be a simple 3-1, maybe even 3-0, but it's a 3-1, I'm pretty sure. Moving on, we have NRG versus Pirates. NRG, again, upset potential roster. I have faith in them. And Pirates, again, really strong off-season roster, but I'm going to give this to the bigger org, NRG, and I'm going to give it 3-1. I feel like they will still do well. I'm going to put it 3-2. I think it'll be close. It could actually go either way. TSM versus Dignitas. Dignitas wins. I'm just going to say it right now. TSM, amazing team. Great players, but I don't feel like they're on the level of Dignitas, and Dignitas really good in the off-season as well, so giving that 3-1. Rebellion versus Plot Twist. Now, this is another quite interesting one, but I think Rebellion will take it, just simply off of instinct. Plot Twist, not a bad roster, again, at all, but I think it'll be a simple 3-1 once more. Time for round... Oh, no, there's still a few more games. Deleted XD versus the Snowman, two of the smaller players in this tournament, but I think that Deleted XD will win. I feel like they've had more time together as a roster. It could go either way, I will say that. Snowman, they have the potential to do really, really well, but I'm gonna give it to XD. Muffin Men versus Young Whippersnappers. I think the Muffin Men take this, just simply. I want to put it close, because I want Whippersnappers to do good, but I just don't think it'll happen. I don't think it's just that likely. So, that's that. I want you to do good, but I predicted you not to. So, take that as what you will, G2 versus NRG. This is a crazy... If this was 2 years ago, and I said that, people would go crazy. G2 versus NRG. Whoa, what? But now, I think G2 has a grip. I think G2 has a grip on NRG here. I think it's a 3-1. Luminosity versus Rebellion. Rebellion has really, really good potential, again. but Luminosity has proven themselves. Not that Shopify haven't, but a few times Optic faced the old Rebellion. They did win. I think it'll be 3-2. I want to put it close, but I do think Luminosity will win this. Again, it's my team, so I'm going for them, so I also want them to win. But Dignitas versus Space Station, this is crazy. This is, you know, Arsenal's old team versus himself, and, you know, it's a really good matchup, and also similar colors. But this is a difficult one to determine, and I'm going to go for an upset with a Dignitas win. I don't know if that's even considered an upset or not, but I'm giving it 3-2 Dignitas winning. I feel like the team, like, synergy is just better than Space Station's currently, and Space Station didn't perform too well in the off-season, while Dignitas did actually just go crazy. TSM versus Muffin Man. I hope Squishy has a good send-off. I really do. But, like, I don't know. It's difficult. I'm gonna give this a TSM. 3-2. Close. I'm gonna give this a TSM. Being realistic here. In the past, I probably wouldn't have said this, but it's just their team and how they've done. That's it. Pirates versus Deleted XD. We have Pirates, which again, really good off-season, but Deleted XD also really good off-season, and also longer time together as a team, I'm pretty sure, but I want to give this to Pirates. I'm gonna give it 3-1 to Pirates. OG versus Plot Twist. Wow, interesting matchup here. We have the veterans, Nolly JNoxCom, strong team, versus Plot Twist, Sosa, Kofia, and Expert, which has a rookie on there, Kofia, and Expert and Sosa are also not the super highest ranked players. They could take out OG. They really could, and I think they will. You can never predict me. You can never predict what I say. I think Plot Twist will take out OG. I'm gonna put it close because I do want, you know, OG to do good, but you know, I just don't think it'll happen. Or will it? That's a difficult one for me. That's actually a really difficult one for me. Okay, it's time for Space Station versus Plot Twist. Fighting for who's gonna be in the playoffs, and I think Space Station is just gonna take it here. It's the boring route, but I just think it'll happen like that. Okay, NRG versus TSM. Two really big orgs with really big fans, except for TSM, but like their org is really well known and respected. So it's really interesting. And it could go either way, I will say that. But I have faith in NRG. I have faith in energy. Let's go. Okay. Final match of the Swiss. Rebellion versus Pirates. Rebellion. Shopify Rebellion. Two-piece. Path Justin. I have faith in them. Versus, we already discussed Pirates on the Boat way too many times. I think they're going to take it in a 3-1. And that is our 16 whittled down to 8. We have Genji, M80, G2, Dignitas, Luminosity, Space Station, Rebellion, and NRG in the playoffs. And I hate to say it, but I think this is exactly how the seeding went. Except for TSM maybe, but this is like the most boring outcome, in my opinion. This is like one of the most boring outcomes I've ever thought of. Usually I get more upsets in there, but this time, no. The upsets in this bracket didn't really make that much of a difference. And if you look at this, there's a lot of the top team winning. There's a lot of the higher seed winning, so yeah, sorry about that. Okay, quarterfinals time. Genji versus NRG. This is gonna be a quick one, I can't lie. Best of 7 now. Was there any best of 7 here? No, it's all best of 5, right? Yeah. Giving it 4-2. I think NRG still has some power in them, but I think Genji is just too good. I mean, 4-1. Genji's, I think, is really good. Dignitas versus Luminosity. We recently had this match in Bandits on Wheels, and Dignitas took it 4-2. It could go either way, in my opinion, depending on how they're playing on the day. And this is a really difficult one to determine for me. But just because of my slight bias, I'm giving it to Luminosity in a 4-3. Killer-biter. Not killer-biter. Killer of a series, nail-biter. I want it to go to Game 7 overtime. I just think my slight bias has a grip right there. M80 versus Rebellion. I think this is a simple M80. 4-2. Rebellion's gonna take some games off, but M80 in the end, I think is the better team. G2 versus Space Station. I am giving this to G2. Space Station is a really good team. Don't get me wrong, but I just think G2 right now, like, they're crazy. Absolutely insane. I'm giving this a 4-2. Incredible, G2 is. Okay, Genji versus Luminosity. And it's time for a Luminosity upset. Is it? No, I'm being realistic here. No. Genji is taking this simple 4-2 fashion. I just think they're just better. M80 versus G2. There is upset potential in this, and I'll say that right now. And I want it to happen. This is an insane take for me. 4-3, M80 beat G2. That would be insane. I may be putting way too much trust in M80 right now. Have they lost a series? They haven't lost a series. And I predicted the M80... Wait, I did predict the M80 upset against G2 in round 3. They haven't lost a series. I'm putting way too much faith in them, and I'll say that right now. But it's time for Genji to take the crown. 4-3. Let's just make it close. Let's make it nice. But, yeah. I put way too much faith in M80. Too many upsets against G2 here with M80, but that is the entirety of what I think. And let's show the entire bracket on screen. Let's try at least. Here, there's the entire bracket and the results. I think it's not too unlikely of a bracket. M80 may be rated a bit high. I will say that now. Maybe Muffin Men, OG, Snowmen, Young Whippersnappers, TSM could all be rated too low. Luminosity may be rated too high. M80 definitely rated too high. But I would like to see it happen. That's just what I'm thinking right now. We go to the results, and here it is. Genji take it out, and they get 3-0 series, 9-4 in games, and a +5, that means. So that's amazing from them. This is the Swiss results, by the way. Then we have M80, and then G2, Dignitas, Luminosity, Space Station, Rebellion, Energy. I'll zoom this out, so if you wanna see the entire thing. But that's my predictions. Yeah. This is definitely not gonna happen. This is not gonna happen, let's be honest here. But I would like to see M80 pop off. I would actually love to see Luminosity pop off even more. I'd love if Luminosity got first place, beat everyone else. But being realistic, I think this is what could happen. If I looked at it as like the top 16, I'm moving M80 down at 5th. At fourth, where Dignitas is, and move Dignitas and G2 up. But yeah,